So I just watched Alex Garland's new film Men, and I think I kind of loved it. I was genuinely mesmerized by Men. I felt like I was in some hypnotic trance in like the first half of the movie. Just out here vibing. I was just taking in all the beautiful shots, all the beautiful cinematography, and I was just floating. And then every now and then, I would kind of get thrown off a little bit in a good way by something that would happen in the movie, something that would kind of keep me on edge, to really engage me. And then the second act will kick in, and I'm kind of vibing here. And then all of a sudden, my butthole gets a little bit clenched because all of a sudden I'm a little nervous, I'm a little nervy. How silly of me. I kind of forgot that this was a horror movie. Yeah, that didn't last very long. Alex Garland really builds up this atmospheric beauty and tension at the same time to kind of keep you like, on your toes throughout the whole movie. And then once he dials in to the horror aspect of it all, oh man, you're in. Obviously, there are plenty of scenes where it's that tension, like I said, and there's something in the background that will creep you out, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of horror that I do like. But also, for some reason, didn't really expect, there's a lot of like body horror in this. I mean, some of which involving a knife that will just absolutely make you cringe in your seat. The shot lasts so long, you see every bit of it. I mean, oh my God. The tension, the suspense, just slowly increasing throughout the runtime of the movie. Oh man, it's so good. And then the third act comes in, and this is where I think it'll lose a lot of people. It turns into something that it wasn't really before, and I'm purposefully not saying much just because, I don't want to give anything away because I don't want to spoil anything. This is definitely where I think most general audiences will kind of check out and be like, okay, this is one of those artsy fartsy movies that's just confusing for no reason, and they'll fully check out. Now, there are plenty of like, quote, arty movies that are maybe confusing or make no sense that kind of rub me the wrong way, for whatever reason. But this one rubbed me the right way. What is up with my word choices today? Jesus. Now, to me, at least, from what I think, I think I fully understood what was going on in the third act. I feel like I got it on lock. Even with that being said, though, while it was happening, it did kind of lose me for a little bit. It did. It kind of lost me, and then it brought me back. So I was there. I guess what I'm trying to say is, even if you do fully understand the third act, it still might not work for you because it almost didn't work for me, even though I fully understood it. Like this, like for sure, will be a divisive movie, yes, but a very divisive ending. I'm already seeing the reception for it, even amongst critics, and it is already a wide range of scales. So I think the reaction is actually quite similar to Annihilation. I'm not too sure how that'll play out as more people eventually see it, but just go in expecting that. But overall, for me, this worked. And I'm sure it helps that, we have recent Academy Award nominee Jessie Buckley just absolutely killing it. She's never bad in a movie, and I'm glad that she got some recognition from the Academy. But this is like one of the best performances I've seen this year, like fully hands down. It's a very taxing and uncomfortable role, and she just absolutely embodies the whole thing. She is so good in this movie. Oh my God. I am also free for dinner next week, so hit me up. What? Now, Rory Kinnear, if that's how you pronounce it, he plays every single male character in this movie except for one, and he is also pitch perfect to this movie. I don't even know why I was like so impressed with the performance, but it felt so natural. Damn, which maybe is like a weird thing to say considering some of the characters get really fucked up, but I mean, it didn't feel like I was watching like acting, like that is so cringe to say, but like I just felt like he was that character for, I don't know. Now, there is one character that he plays where the CGI is pretty bad, not gonna lie. It is like very apparent and frankly distracting when you see it on screen. Now, that stuff doesn't exactly bother me in a movie like this where it's not really reliant on CGI or anything like that, but it's definitely something to take notice of because you will definitely notice it when you're watching it in the theater. I mean, I was watching it and it popped up. I was like, yo, what the? I was like trying to punch the screen for a second. Well, it scared me. As briefly mentioned earlier, the cinematography is just amazing in here. Yes, it looks beautiful, like visually, but also like the camera work choices, very good. I just love how it'll just linger on a shot just a little bit too long just to really drive home the point that you are gonna see some fucked up shit eventually and you better be nervous. The use of music is good because there are some like actual songs in here, and also the score, which is like pretty innovative and cool. I mean, it just uses like when her yelling in the cave, which is in the trailer, and it'll just reuse that as the score throughout some of the movie parts. So like it's it's just really cool. I don't know. Now, I know I've talked about this pretty vague. I mean, as you guys can probably guess and imagine, there's a lot of layers to this. There's a lot of themes, some of which are, fairly obvious, and some of which maybe aren't so obvious to some. And the movie definitely does get pretty weird, especially for most. But for me, I kind of loved it. I think it's a fascinating movie. This movie definitely will not be for everybody, and so take that into account. But for me, I guess I'm a sicko. Men, I'm gonna give it 4 stars for now. I'll have to think about it because I really was debating between 4 stars or 4.5. I'm gonna keep it at 4 for now, but if I change it, you guys will see it on Letterboxd if you guys follow me. Selfishly, I hope Alex Garland returns to make a movie versus another TV show. I tweeted about it, but this is definitely gonna get a really low audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Oh boy, that shit gonna be low.